What's up, guys? I made a lot of mistakes today, so in this video you are going to learn from my mistakes. If I show you guys my pre-market plan. All right, so this was my plan for today. I kind of amended it a little bit after I made the first one, but we were trading in between this upper balance and this lower balance on the higher time frame. Last Monday's low was at 805, so really anticipating was selling to step in up here. Also trying to gauge activity down here at the end of the gap from a little bit ago, and that also lines up with the value area beginning right there. So I amended this plan a little bit, and I decided to say, all right, since we were getting some buying before the open down here, if this area is going to hold where this week opened up down to the low of the week, really, that could possibly take us up to 805, and that's where I was going to look for sellers. I didn't really want to take it long before this, but that was my plan. So really my main levels of interest today were 805 to 830, the lower end from 761 down to like 730. So pretty decent size range. Just by looking at my executions, you can see I was struggling. Got a nice reaction off of this 805 level, which is marked out by the yellow line right here. I did not get short at 805. I didn't see enough. Let me show you guys the footprint. Well, this is the footprint right here from when we first came up to 805. I did not take this short up here because I didn't like how it looked yet. There's a little bit of delta right here, and then you can see we obviously moved off of it, and it did line up with VWAP at the same time. So what I did is I saw this, and then I tried to get in short on these are my first errors of the day. Is my plan was to trade from 805 to like 817 up in this area, right? But I took short entries down here. So this is bad already, and really you could have, like, I was not trading the extreme like I should have been right here. So what happened was we had this low volume area, which is right in here. It got disrespected, and I basically tried to play it like it was an inverse low volume area. Did I have proper confirmation to take this short when I did? If I take the footprint out, so this is why I took it short initially off of that disrespected low volume node, and it was because of this little delta right here. Looking back at it, this is not significant enough to call this a trade entry. Really, my fear of missing out is easily my biggest flaw in trading. So like, I'll see something that piques my interest a little bit and I take it. I took it once, got stopped out in literally like probably 10 seconds, and then I re-entered the same short, got in at like 93 or something. Like, yeah, 93, took it down, got like 8 points in profit, 6 or 7, got like 7-8 points in profit, went break even on it, I stopped out. This is where I'm like, all right, let me just relax, let me just wait. Then we come back up to this 805, and I took it short again. And the first time I've ever taken a trade off early right here, and I took it off for like $100 loss. So at this point I was like negative 300. So this one I actually followed my plan, which good for me. Yay. I really wouldn't say the confirmation was the best. Took that around 906. So where is the confirmation? Where am I seeing buyers struggle? I'm not. Like, in hindsight, I'm literally not. And I don't know, I took it at 906. So it was like, all I see is this negative delta right here. And this is like, why did I take it short? I don't know. So once again, just not being patient enough, not waiting for that confirmation. So at least this trade was with my plan. These were terrible entries because they didn't, like, yeah, they were aligned with my plan, but they didn't have proper confirmation for one, just like this one didn't either. So it's 3 entries without proper confirmation. Granted, it's only negative 300 in PNL, which is technically like 1.5 losses. Have that going for me, but that's still no excuse for these trades to be put on. And this is where things get ugly. So we have this sweep a high day on aggressive volume, and at this point we had this distribution, and I was like, you know what, if we break out of this balance, maybe I can look for a long opportunity to target up here to 830. Was that in my plan? No, I did not say, oh, if 805 breaks, then maybe I can take it to 830. Like, that was never part of my plan. My plan was to look for sellers to appear from 805 to 817. So for me to flip here is not any good. But the reason why I did was because the buying pressure, I'm sure all of you guys know, like, pressure from buyers today was very relentless the entire time. After I took this loss, I was like, you know what? I don't even want to fight this anymore. Like, I don't feel like it's smart for me to, I feel like it's smart for me to try to fight the pressure. So this is my mindset in the moment. These two longs, we break above this high a day and we get a low volume area. I don't know how the fuck I got filled up at 809. I have no fucking idea, but trying to take it at like 805, I must have just, I don't know. I got a fucking terrible fill, stopped out very quickly. Same thing with the next entry. So essentially 2 trades on the same thesis. Quick re-entry, which is a bad idea. Do not do that. And that happened around what time? So that was from 9:13 to like 9:14-ish. So let's go to the footprint at 9:13 to 9:14. This is what's funny. Like, I take it short right in this area right here. But what do we see? We see delta up here. We see a lot of buying that's not getting rewarded. And then we see the delta kind of flip right here. Now, yeah, that could have been a good short, and I took it long basically off this 805. And if this was going to be a good long entry, I would have seen aggressive selling getting stuffed in this area. So I was entering literally every single trade I've taken today lacked confirmation. And that is something that is just like, there's no excuse for that. I get myself in the sense that I do not want to fight the pressure anymore. It's just like, to me, it's like on days that are like this, it seems like I should just get with the pressure instead of trying to fight it. Like, whatever, that's cool, but I didn't have the confirmation to get long here. This is 5 entries. Those are my last 2 entries, and negative 600 is like a full max loss day for me. So I have 5 entries with a max loss. So that's like, my risk was smaller than 4 points on most of these trades. And that's why that was like that. But yeah, so it sucks because I know I'm not supposed to go against my plan, and like, there's no excuse for me entering without proper criteria. Like, it really all comes down to me wanting to catch a move and me fearing missing out on a move. Now, I'm going to point out the last thing, and really what just happened the rest of the session is, it seems like, you know, we're breaking the high a day, we're getting a reaction, we're breaking the high a day, we're getting a reaction. But we never got that follow through from sellers that I wanted to see for this short to work out. The lack of aggressive selling was like the missing piece to the puzzle for shorts to work out. So I just sat here and I just watched to see what happened, because I was like, all right, we're either going to break out of this balance and find new balance, or you're going to fake out and most likely, you know, traverse the balance. So this is where we're at currently. And I did notice this high a day fail right here was actually really nice looking. And this was, I don't know, like, this is like 30 minutes after my time window really ends. So like, this is not a trade I would even be present for. But this is the high day fill that I thought looked really good. So if you guys remember, we had this delta from earlier around 9:15, and you can see it right here, and it's essentially from 809 to 810. You can see there's a lot of buying delta. Whenever we swept this high day, you can't really see it as easily on the footprint. You can see the delta over here, but if I show you guys Bookmap, look how nice this looked on Bookmap. Get this delta once, twice. You get the flip of delta by looking right here. And honestly, you could have caught this pretty easily at like the 810 and then put your stop loss right above 1375, or even like maybe even a little tighter. But this looked really good for me in terms of entry criteria and confirmation. I would have wanted to take it down to 88 or 86 for my final target, maybe even like the low a day. My first target would have been probably this low volume area, and I saw this before, got a bounce, but the theme of the day was just a lack of that selling that you wanted to see to take us all the way down there. Like, we kept getting reactions and we kept getting, you know, small moves off of it. This was POC. I remember we bounced off POC here, all the way up here, bounced off POC again right here. And it was just like, follow through was not there from the sellers, is what I'm saying. So I hope you guys can learn from me, because it's like today, it's just like hindsight. I'm like, what the fuck were you doing? You got to be able to self-reflect, and not only self-reflect, but the most important thing is actually changing. These are errors that I've honestly, like, these are errors that I have no excuse for making anymore. I'm just like, I guess I kind of let myself go on autopilot a little too much today, and was a lot less conscious about waiting for confirmation and really just sticking with my plan. So that's my message for you guys. Stick with your plan and at least wait for that proper entry confirmation, because it is not worth losing trades that you should never put on. So if you guys like these videos, give my channel a subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.